She leads, she's got degrees from Cambridge and MIT in aerophysics, and she leads the Swiss Wind Energy Institute. And she asked this really important question, which was, can we collaborate our way out of the world's problems? She has sort of like a tremendous interest in seeing the industry collaborate more. And she did science 6 months ago, 9 months ago. She went to 30 energy companies and asked the question, what would it take for us to have a posture of collaboration? Could we solve together and work together? Could we share data? And the resounding answer to this survey was yes, we would like to share. And on the strength of that, Sarah approached the world's fourth largest wind energy producer, EDP, and said, look, we think, EDP has 10,000 employees, more than 10,000 employees, more than 2,500 wind turbines, and they make enough electricity to power 14 million homes. So big organization. And Sarah said to this group, look, we would like to partner with you to prove that we can actually collaborate. You provide the data, we'll bring the scientists together, and we'll try to do something. And Sophia at EDP said, sounds great, let's do it. So Sarah and Sophia mapped out the challenge, which is worth a lot to turbine fleets globally. On March 15th, we took We Do Wind live. Sarah worked to build the community. I worked to build and launch the technology platform underneath, Relight. We made a link, we issued an invite to a challenge, and we waited to see what would happen. And, I think it's worth mentioning, and all of you here may already know this, that turbines have gearboxes like cars. When your gearbox in your car fails, it's a $3,000 repair. When a turbine gearbox fails, it's a $600,000 repair. So when investors look at investing in this space, that is literally their margin, their return on investment going up in smoke. And the question is, how can we use predictive analytics to anticipate when something like a gearbox is going to catastrophically fail? So EDP reached out and said, we think that we would like to present this challenge to the world on our data. And they provided the data. And so it's March 20th. We're still waiting. The challenge has been put out there. The data's been put out there. There have been a lot of emails that have been sent to energy companies around the world. And now it's March 31st. We're still waiting. Coal power plants are still running. Planet's still polluted. We don't yet have any answers or engagement in what we're doing. We're forced to ask deep questions like, is this going to work? Do people want to come together and collaborate? And then on March 31st, we received an incredible submission from the other side of the world from a guy named Julian Quick, who's a University of Colorado PhD student. And he'd nailed it. He was using an extreme gradient boosting model to make predictions on EDP's data about failure on their fleet. He was successfully saying, this is when EDP's turbine is going to fail, and it lined up with what the data said. So we were amazed, and frankly, we were relieved. We knew at that point that at least one person in the whole world wanted to collaborate, and we thought that this submission was amazing. We didn't know whether we'd receive another one, though, and we thought, at least we've received one. Well, over the last 6 months, since then, we've received 7 more submissions from around the world for a total of 8 submissions to the problem. And we now have we have people from more than 20 countries now. Each day, new people stream into the Relight community, and people from places like Jordan, Estonia, and Brazil. Every week, we have new solvers kind of entering into this posture of, If we come together, we can solve together. And the key lessons learned are people are drawn to a challenge. We can use challenges to bring people together across the industry, and we can really solve hard problems this way. We can create a more inclusive, collaborative culture for the whole space. We can use asynchronous collaboration tools to enable all voices to be heard and participate. We can help lift up and raise up leaders like Sarah, who want to bring together a community of problem solvers around a given issue. And we can do things like help restore gender equity in the global south. Networks like Relight create access for people. We have people joining from Jordan and Brazil. People who wouldn't otherwise have access are getting access to the clean energy space. So the lesson we believe we've learned is that we can do this. We can launch networks and bring the space together. Now, the thing about the we do culture, what we believe is that it establishes a culture of collaboration. Like as an example right now, we have a collaboration between NREL and Apex, and that collaboration has proved to be quite powerful. And I'll tell you a little more about that in just a few minutes. We're also growing regions. The Relight network has brought together people from different regions. As an example, we have people from leaders in Brazil who said, we want to bring all the women from Brazil into this network that are within our network in Brazil, and they've created a sub network for that purpose. So we're proud to kind of stand with them to kind of give access to people in the global south. We're growing issues. This platform and what we've done to build this global network, we believe it can inspire governments to make changes. We have funding. We're proud to announce that we have funding from the U.S. government has stepped in to fund one of the platforms, and the Swiss government has also funded this initiative. So we see clearly now that the mission, at least of the Relight platform, is to remove barriers to collaboration. And so we're now, the Relight platform is a powerful collaboration platform that you can implement to collaborate within your organization, within an energy company, or across energy companies. So we see our mission as removing barriers to collaboration. And we think it's an important time to do two things. Broadly speaking, energy companies need to align people and they need to align data. Everyone today has talked a lot about aligning data. We actually have an initiative that was kicked off with the backing and the partnership of NREL, the world's leading energy lab. That initiative, called ENTER, we have a lot of clean energy companies participating in that alliance, the ENTER Alliance, and you can find the ENTER Alliance at enteralliance.com. I'm proud to say that initiative, ENTER, whose purpose is to align data using open standards across fleets, now has the funding of the U.S. government. The U.S. Department of Energy joined in a funding round that is now powering the development of this open source platform for data alignment. On the other side, you've heard about Relight, which is the platform for bringing people together. We now have hundreds of people coming from around the world to solve problems together. Together, we believe these two platforms represent the future of the space. On the one hand, you have a platform, Relight, for aligning people and enabling them to collaborate. On the other hand, you have a platform in ENTER that allows energy companies like Apex Clean Energy to align all their data. So, in short, we're really proud to say that there is, it's taken a village to raise this child. We really want to start by thanking the solvers, the people who came together to solve the important problem having to do with gearbox failure detection. It was a lot of work, and we're very proud of the hard work that all the people in that challenge did to nail this problem. A lot of the world right now is having to figure out how to use AI and machine learning. It's best done in a collaborative way, and we can look back now and see that this collaborative approach really does work. So we want to thank Julian, who predicted wind failure events. And if you're a solver like Julian, we want you to go to relight.co, and you can learn how to kind of become a member. If you are building a community, if you want to challenge the space, come to relight.co and learn how to kind of create a network to bring together people in the clean energy space to solve a problem. So if you're a builder like Sarah, contact us, go to relight.co. If you're like Sophia at EDP and you see the need for a problem on your fleet, again, contact us and we'd be delighted to help you create a challenge and establish collaboration. So if you're a government hearing this presentation, we're deeply grateful to the funding round that the US government provided, and also the funding from the Swiss Federal Office of Energy. And we have a place for governments to get involved in this work and promote open standards. We want to thank the research community, NREL, that partnered with us to build. It's an ongoing effort to raise the funding from the US government to build Enter, the open source platform. We want to thank companies like SCADA International. SCADA contributed a tag naming standard that is already implemented on 99% of turbine fleets. They said, we created this standard, it's proprietary to us, and they decided to share that with the world by open sourcing it as part of the Enter Alliance. And now the Enter Alliance is distributing the tag naming standard that SCADA International used for more than a decade on many implementations of fleets. You can now use that tag naming standard for free within the open source stack that Enter is providing. If you're a company like SCADA, contact us and we'll tell you how to make a contribution and participate in the Enter Alliance. We want to thank people like Neil James at Apex Clean Energy. And, Apex Clean Energy entered into the Enter Alliance and has really kind of helped foster and steward a culture of collaboration across the space. If you're like Apex, contact us and we'll tell you their story in terms of creating an open data hub and how that helped transform their operations internally. We want to thank EDP. So we want to thank them because, despite having 10,000 employees, EDP said we're better together and help launch a global challenge that's shown the world what we can do together when we come together to solve together. We also honor EDP for its role in bringing women into the clean energy space. So thank you, and that concludes. Thank you to the village that brought this this network into existence. The platforms that we build are available at relight.co. That's RELIGHT, relight.co, and enteralliance.com. So Relight is the platform for aligning people and enabling collaboration across owner-operators and within owner-operators. Go to relight.co, and the platform for alignment of data backed by the U.S. Department of Energy is enteralliance.com. That's ENTR alliance.com. So I'm gonna stop there and take any questions that might surface.